if you're serious, really serious, you can learn everything you need to know to get your first job in 12 weeks. Because to be honest, there are people who do tech for the money, which is not a bad thing.
Hello, welcome to Borderless Path. My name is Innocent, your host, and today here with me I'll be having Dara. Dara is hi Dara. He's a techie, someone you call the tech bro. Actually, he's been in the tech space for a long time, as far as back as I've known Dara. It's a privilege to be in Dara's space, understanding dynamics and the flow and the trends of tech. So I'll just allow Dara to introduce himself to us, and then we'll start from.
Yeah, I think now you're really gonna make me blush, brother.
Yeah, it's what you deserve. You deserve more than that.
Well, I'm no, uh, not trying to be, but I think I'm one of those few people who I do tech. It's one of the things I love to do every single day. It's a very rare privilege and honor to be a guest on your podcast, on any podcast, to be honest. People hardly invite me to their podcast. So thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. We'll have you more as a guest on this show,
Oh,
definitely.
right. I'll so much look forward to it. All right. As a bit of introduction, I am Dara Oladapo, as you have rightly introduced me. I've been friends now for God knows 15 plus years. We're about, yeah, we met in the university. Yeah, don't worry about this fresh face. I'm not a very young man either. It's the way that I made my face look so, but we thank God. So I am Dara. I currently work as a senior DevOps engineer in a company called Immigrant. And what that entails simply is that I look after our infrastructure, I look after our developers, I look after our customers. Yes, I look after literally everybody in an automated fashion by deploying apps seamlessly, maintaining them, and ensure they run smoothly. And if God forbid, problems happen, we are there to help and support and fix those problems. That's simply what I do on a day to day as a job. And as a side, I'm a content creator, I'm a Christian, I'm a father, I'm a saxophonist. What else am I? I am someone who likes to take a diss at some other platforms that I use every day.
Wow, that's it. That's like a 10-page portfolio, really. Because you are this, you're that, and we are really privileged to have you, and the audience are privileged to have you. So, I'm very curious, really, about and one of the things I want our audience to know is how you got into tech. Yeah, how you, because back in when you were growing up, there were a lot of things that you could have done,
Mhm.
aspire to become a doctor, mechanical engineer, and all of that, but you chose tech and you stuck with tech. So how did tell us the background story about you getting into tech?
Uh it's kind of a long, well, and short story in kind of a way. I think my journey into tech started about how long ago now? About 23-ish years ago.
That's
When
so
my mom got the first desktop computer in our house. She was coming home from work that day and then was just carrying something. As children living in Ibadan, you have to run and go and meet your mother to collect the loan. I'm like, what's this? It's a computer. Like, okay. How does it work? How do you operate this? Well, before that, I've been dismantling radios and making my father pay to fix them when I'm unable to. I dismantled the radios, the televisions, the video players, and all that. So this was something else I would think I would, but not for a long time, at least. So that afternoon, thankfully, NEPA brought light that afternoon. So my brother was able to show me how to hold the mouse and navigate around the computer. And then later at night, mostly in Nigeria, they bring light at night at times when you don't really need it, when you're supposed to be sleeping. So I woke up that night and I started just navigating. So that would become my custom every single night when they brought light. And I was just more curious about what was going on in the computer system. When I click a button, what happens behind it. Then, as at that time in my life, I think we're around just 2, just 3 thereabout, I wanted to be a farmer, a big time farmer like Obasanjo. That was the
yeah,
level of farming I wanted to go into. Although, as a young boy growing up in Abayefun, I had no idea how that was going to happen. But I wanted to be as big as Obasanjo, have a big farm somewhere. Yeah, maybe I'll go into farming later when I'm a billionaire. I don't know yet.
That I love farming as well. That's a good one.
Um, but yeah, so getting that computer kind of changed my path because I realized I was so much invested into it that nothing else in the world matters to me. Like I will literally spend my allowance straight from school home so that I can go to the cyber cafe, save on a diskette, come home and view Wikipedia pages on the computer. And sorry, that computer is not like the fancy computers we use today. It only had 12 gigs of storage. So the operating system, the apps and everything was only 12 gigabytes.
12 gig.
That
Wow.
is everything we have in a RAM in the phones we use these days. So I'll go to cyber cafe. Yeah,
Mhm.
literally, yeah.
Yeah.
And the RAM, I think, was 300 megabytes, was running Windows XP. When I spoiled it, we installed different OS, Windows ME.
That's like the size of a file now.
Exactly. Size of one YouTube video. Well, not
How
smaller.
time flies.
Exactly. So uh that was the beginning part. But then around 2008-ish, when we were to write JAM, I just put in for computer science because I knew this was it for me. And one of the things I learned growing up was that if you're gonna go study something in school, it should be something you have a passion for. So I realized computing was my passion. I don't think I was gonna deviate from it, but my dream of computer science at that time was actually a little bit low. I thought computer science was just fixing people's computer in a shop somewhere in Dubai and just making money, drive a 1995 Toyota Camry, have a flat rented out somewhere in Gbagi or Dubai or Oluyole, and that was computer science for me. That was the life I was aiming for. Which I'm not saying it's a bad life, but that was the peak of it for me at that time with the
Yeah,
environment I
that's
grew up
as
in.
much as you know.
Yeah, that was all I
Yeah,
knew.
to just to put in context here, there is a was he's a Nigerian, no, was a Nigerian, he's a Nigerian, say
I'm
Nigerian,
still like,
he's a Nigerian, yeah. That and I grew up in Ibadan. I think he was born and raised in Ibadan,
yes,
and
indeed.
but it was privileged to have educated parents who exposed him as much as they could. Because now, based on what you're trying to tell us now, you had a parental influence on
Mhm.
you becoming a computer
Definitely,
scientist and
definitely.
running into tech. So,
Yes.
but now, if we just if I jump ahead of myself a bit,
Mhm.
so now tech is wide and all of that. So,
That is true.
but what about somebody that's not been in tech, that had no uh parental influence, motivation to do all of that? Do you think somebody like that can survive in the tech space? Like, what can do what you do? Because you
I
do a
think
lot.
I definitely think yes, definitely so. And the reason I say that is this: during our time growing up, there was not as much information on social media as we have today.
Yeah. No, no, a lot, no YouTube basically.
No, no YouTube. You don't even have data. What is data? You don't even have mobile phones.
Yeah. No, none.
Yeah. So there's much there's much more availability to information and exposure now than there was 20 plus years ago.
That's
And
true.
now imagine what it was 20 years before our own time, 40
Mhm.
years before our own time. So I can really tell you for a fact that wherever you grew up in, whatever environment you grew up in, as long as you have a semblance of a smart device, you can be anything.
Mhm.
Anything you want to be. You can be the Elon Musk of tomorrow. You can be the Bill Gates of tomorrow. You can be the
Mhm.
whoever other rich guy it
Yeah.
is of tomorrow. It
Well, I'm
doesn't matter where you
motivated to
come
be.
from.
Well, I'm motivated to be the next Elon Musk of today. Anyway, for the billions, though.
Definitely.
So
So
you've had a foundational knowledge. You've not had a foundational knowledge. You've just had you're just curiosity.
curiosity.
Yeah, I will just pinpoint on that. You were very curious as a child in learning how this work and knowing more about it, and going to a public cafe where you get to use a computer. That's a cyber cafe
Mhm.
back in Nigeria. That's what we call it, and that's impressive. I would commend that. So now, as an immigrant in the United Kingdom, do you see tech as an opportunity for an immigrant?
I will definitely tell you. Yes, 100%. Although a lot of people like disagree with me and say, yeah, it's because you made it and all that. But the truth of the matter is, technology is a, how do I call it? An elevation platform. Or how do I
Yeah.
call it? Like anybody can get into tech, whatever field. You can get into tech without actually studying computer science for 5 years, 4 years, like 3 years, like we did. You can get into the field without actually having an official degree from that field, not like medicine, not like nursing, not like being a pilot. You have to go to flight school to learn how to be a pilot. You have to go to law school to be a lawyer. In tech, you don't have to study computer science or computer engineering. You can literally go to a boot camp or even learn by yourself and be whatever you want to be.
So more like tech, the developments and that we have experienced over the last decade has made it a leveling ground for anybody that wants to enter the field. So
Definitely.
that,
It's
that
it's
means
nothing ground.
you really literally can
Yeah,
become
you literally
become
can.
a tech.
There's nothing
So
stopping you. That is the answer. Nothing stops you.
so let's narrow it down to you being a DevOps engineer.
Mhm.
DevOps sounds complicated. Do you mind breaking it down? Because really, I've tried doing a bit of reading on DevOps, and I'm like, it's
What
structural.
exactly it is.
What is this?
Yeah. So yeah, I get that a lot, and people kind of tell us to our faces that you guys are just glorified cloud engineers, which is another thing that some other people don't understand. But DevOps. So I'll start by actually just giving a brief definition of DevOps and explain what it really is, and then go into DevOps engineering. So DevOps is a Microsoft official definition now, quoting Microsoft, the union of people, processes, and products to deliver value to end users. So people here means stakeholders, software developers, software testers, project managers, the users, the business owner, the people selling stuff on the street, the people who use your apps, people. The process is how you get the software made. Do you do waterfall model or agile or Kanban or Scrum or extreme programming, whatever method you use to produce software? People, process, and then the product itself, your apps, your Facebook, your Ubers, your WhatsApps, your Descript, your Zencaster, your Chat GPTs. Those three things, bring them together in synergy so that the people who will use it will get value for it. And value here will mean great customer experience, great support, usability, and everything. That is what DevOps is. So DevOps essentially is not a technology in itself. It is a culture and a way of doing things. And that is how I explain DevOps to anyone who, even if you wake me up, that is how I will explain DevOps. But then DevOps engineering is not exactly applying the culture, although it is applying the culture as part of the ways, but it goes technical. So bringing efficient processes in place to ensure that software delivery is quick, efficient, and as productive as possible to bring that definition of DevOps to life. So we introduce processes, we introduce whatever we need to introduce technically to ensure that the definition of DevOps is achieved in that organization. So this could mean creating pipelines. This could mean provisioning cloud resources. This could mean writing scripts. This could mean writing tools with some programming language. So it could
Language,
mean
yeah.
literally anything depending on the context of what value is to the user.
User.
So that is
So
DevOps engineering.
DevOps engineering is just bringing the tools to bring DevOps to life.
Exactly.
So you bringing the tools you need together to bring the user and to bring the whole DevOps culture to the
To
end user.
life. Yes.
Yes.
Bringing it, implementing the tools also, not
Yes.
just bringing it as, hey, yo, go use this tool. No, we implement it,
Implement it.
get our
Okay.
hands dirty with it. We are not consultants. We get our hands dirty.
That's a lot. Okay. So are there certifications that is necessary? Because basically anybody listening will be very concerned about how they can secure their role in DevOps engineering.
Mhm.
And certifications, I'll just ask two questions in one. Certifications and salary expectations, basically.
Okay.
Because
Ah,
let's get to the bug.
okay. Are certifications compulsory? My straight answer to that is always no. Are they essential? Yes. Now, I'll paint it this way. You're applying for a job, you can both do it. Mr. A, Mr. B, you can both do the job. You are
Okay.
both qualified technically to do the job. What would give you an edge over Mr. B is the proof to show that you have gone through the training process. The vendor of that tool or platform has said, yes, this person knows it. Don't get me wrong. And I'm gonna be very factual and raw here. You can cram to pass a certification exam.
Mm.
I have crammed to pass
Oh,
exams. We went to FUTA.
oh,
You
really?
know
Yeah.
that. You can cram to pass exam. But
That's
the
very
truth
true.
is,
You can.
even during your cramming process, a bit of that thing is still sticking in your head.
Yes, you learn as well.
So you are learning, even though you're cramming, you are learning. So even if you cram to pass your certification exam, you have a bit more leverage over Mr. B. Remember, you are both technically qualified, your people skills, all other skills are the same. But what gives you that edge? That certification. So, yes, there are certifications in the DevOps world, depending on the cloud platform you are focusing on. Or if you want to generalize your technology, there's Kubernetes administrators, there's Kubernetes developers, there's Azure administrator, there's Azure architect, there's actual Microsoft implementing DevOps solution with Microsoft Azure certifications. And I'm talking of my own field where I'm a specialist in Azure. But there are those for AWS, there are just for GCP, there are those for Alibaba Cloud, Digital Ocean, all of them out there today. All you have to do is go on your favorite search engine. And luckily now you can go on ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, Claude AI. Just put in, I am looking to get certified in this. What do I need to learn? What certification options are available for me? You get your answers. I'm not going to
So
spill the certifications on you. I'm just going to tell
yeah,
you how to do it.
I have to do it. So now you
Oh, the
somebody
prospect.
learning and all of that. Okay.
The
Prospect, yes.
prospect. Yes, the prospect. I
Very
want that
important.
camera zoomed into my face. Now, the prospect, the career prospects here are, sorry, monetary prospects. Yes, because to be honest, there are people who do tech for the money, which is not a bad thing. So people want to
No,
know how
not
much I'm
bad.
going to earn.
Most
And
people do tech for money, actually.
yeah,
That's it. That's the truth.
well, I do it for the money now too. I started with passion. I do it for the money.
You still should you're supposed to be passionate about whatever you're doing anyway.
I'm passionate about my money.
Oh, that's at least some you have something to be passionate about.
Just kidding. I still love what I do every day to be. I sit with my wife and my
Okay.
boss said to me, hey, the message my boss said. Yeah. So yeah, passion is there, making it for the money is there. But to be honest, there's no blanket figure around the remuneration. But I can tell you for a fact that it is a rewarding pathway.
Mm.
You could in the UK, and I'm gonna give figures for UK because that is the market I understand at the moment. I don't know what is going on in the Nigerian market or the Ghanaian market or even the US market at the moment. So the UK market, if you're a junior DevOps engineer, if you're just starting out, fresh out of boot camp or skill or certification, you could be looking to earn somewhere above 20K a year.
Okay.
Ideally, averagely, it could be lesser, a little bit lesser, and it could be higher than that. I know starter DevOps engineer that start on 35 grand. I know people who start on 40K. And if the more senior you go, higher your money. And also depends
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
you get
industry
paid.
where you are doing your DevOps engineering.
Mm,
So if you're
okay.
doing it in an industry where the general income level is low, your salary is going to be low. If you're doing it in an industry where the salary level is high, your income level is going to be high. So you just imagine, just like me, a senior DevOps engineer, for example, if let's say my average salary for DevOps engineers, senior DevOps engineers in the UK, let's assume it's 50K a year. I'm not saying that's the figure. I don't even know the figure at the moment. Let's assume it's 50K a year. If you work in an industry where the average salary is 300K a year, you probably be earning 150K a year.
Yeah. As a
And in
junior
an industry
engineer.
where the average salary is 35K, you probably be earning 25K a year.
That's true. That's
So
true.
it all depends on the industry, where the organization is, and then the average for that industry also.
So how long is it going to take me as a starter? Hypothetically, let's assume I want to start a career in DevOps engineering. now,
Uh,
and I know nothing. How long is it going to take me to get to be confident enough to say I want to apply for a job and get a job as a junior DevOps engineer?
to and I'm gonna tell you this based on my experience as a trainer. Um, what you need is at least 12 weeks. If you're serious, really serious, you can learn everything you need to know to get your first job in 12 weeks. That
So
is it.
12 weeks, that means that's 3 months.
Yes.
So that
I
means if
have
I start today now in 3 months, I can't get my
you
first
can't
job.
get your first job as a junior DevOps engineer. Yes. I have trained
In,
people
okay.
who literally know nothing. They don't even know how to code. The only thing they know is how to open the computer and power it on and start a program.
Mm,
And I taught them within 3 months, they got their DevOps engineer job.
that's impressive.
And that's hundreds of
So
people,
so
not just
so
one.
there's no excuse for saying you've got no job anyways.
No, there's no excuse. No.
That could have
And
been
the sweet thing,
correct
the
10,
sweet
15
thing
years
there
ago.
is also there are government funded programs where you can actually
Okay.
learn the skills for free, where you
Uh,
actually go to a training organization and get training for free. And then you almost get a guarantee of a job after your training.
are you saying more like an internship or
More like
apprenticeship? Is that
apprenticeship, yes.
okay?
There are organizations
So
like that. I don't want to mention their names here so it doesn't look like I'm advertising them. But
okay, yes,
I've worked with some in the past. I still work with some at present, and I'll still work with others in the future.
okay, all right, that's fine. So you mean in 3 months I can get I can start earning 30K a year or 35K a year or 50K a year? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
As long as you position yourself rightly and you really
Right.
learn.
Okay. You mentioned something about ChatGPT the other time, and it scares everybody in the industry.
It scares
Not
me too.
not not only ChatGPT, basically, generally AI, generative AI, and some other new AI models have been developed. So how can we future proof our career? If, for example, I'm spending hours upon hours learning how to code, learning how to do all of this, and some AI can do it in 5, 10, 15 minutes. So how can I position myself to future proof my career in DevOps?
Okay. I tell people this a lot, and it's it's the simple truth. Um AI will only come take your job if you don't know what you're doing. That is what I tell people. AI is coming for you if you don't know what you do. If you know what you're doing, AI will be your friend. It will be your ally.
Mm, okay, yeah,
I'll give you an example. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat things here. Sometimes when AI does stuff, I'm amazed also. But I know my fundamentals in programming. So
mm,
I know what is really going on behind the scenes. So when an AI generates, yes, I'm amazed and say, "Ooh, you can do this." So I don't have to spend 10 minutes doing stuff. I use AI heavily myself. On my YouTube channel, I use AI. As a programmer every day, I use AI. I so when you know the things you don't want to waste time on,
on
delegate it over to AI. AI
delegation.
will only replace people who are not masters of it.
Mm,
So I use GitHub Copilot as an example. I'm a programmer, I'm a DevOps engineer. I want to write a script to deploy a cloud infrastructure. All right. I have never done it before. Or maybe I have, but I've kind of forgotten my lines. I get into my PowerShell script or bicep file or Terraform file. I can give GitHub Copilot a prompt. I am trying to do this. Can you help me with the bootstrap code to do it? Generates the code for me. I put it in. I scan it based on my experience.
your
If it's
foundational
right,
knowledge, yeah.
I test it. If it
Okay.
works, good. If it doesn't work, I use my experience to fix it. I even say, "Oh, I think you are wrong on this line. I think you're wrong
Mm,
on that line. Can you fix it?" Yes, it helps me do my job faster. Yes, it did it faster, but it did not do it faster to replace me. It did it faster to help me. It means I can
okay.
finish that project quicker and move on to another project. Means if I was to earn 5,000 on that project and it was to take me 30 days, and AI can help me achieve it in 15 days, I can earn my 5K in 15 days and move on and earn another 5K. It means I can
Right.
double
So
my
another
income
project.
making potential with the help.
So so basically AI makes you more efficient and productive.
That is it. That is the answer to it.
So
As long
not like
as
it's
we
coming to
see
take your
it,
job.
as long as we see AI as our ally, it is not a threat.
Mm.
Well, except you're building robots that are gonna punch us in the face later on in life, anyways.
Let's hope that doesn't happen in our lives.
No, not in our
So
lifetime.
can you share some of your struggles, basically? Some of the things I hear people say is that work environment as an immigrant and all of that. So have you been able to overcome cultural barrier traveling as an immigrant in your workspace as a senior DevOps engineer?
Yeah. Well, I will say this for a fact is I've been lucky. I've been blessed to have good working environments. Sometimes not so awesome colleagues, but most of my colleagues have been really awesome. But then it happens in cases where you would probably have an hostile environment. You'd be like, you came to take our jobs. But the thing is, the way what I tell people is become so good in your game that you are indispensable.
Mm,
Yeah,
yes,
the truth is, everyone is dispensable, to be honest. When I
mm,
say indispensable, I mean be so confident in your game that if they say, yeah, we are firing all blacks from this company today, we are firing all immigrants from this company today. No, if you're not native to this country, go back to where you come from. Or we're just firing people at random. They're just a number on the charts, or just a number in the books. Be so confident of your skill to the point that even if you get laid off today, within a month, you'll get back on your feet.
mm.
That is what I advise people. Like,
That's
be so
brilliant.
good, be so confident in yourself that, hey, look, if you fire me today, I move on. No sentiments, no grudges.
Mhm. That
And
means you must be very good then.
you must be very good. And I say you are good because you're grinding fundamentals, not because you have all the skills and all the sweet math. I don't have sweet math. I'm a very shy person. If you know me very well, I'm very shy. I hardly speak in meetings. I've been trying to get better in my communication, anyways. But
So,
then the truth is, you get good to a point where you become the contact point. You become a subject matter expert.
mm,
So when you become a subject matter expert, whatever is going on anywhere, you will still be the point of call. Even if they don't like you, they have
mm,
no option but to come to you.
mm,
And I'm not saying this out of hate or anger. I'm just saying that is the way it should be. Even if you're not an immigrant, that is the level of goodness you should have in your skill, the level of confidence you should have in your skill. Yeah, sometimes, yes, imposter syndromes will kick in and say, yeah, I'm not sure I can do this. I say that to my wife many times. Like, I'm not sure this DevOps thing is for me. I should have been a farmer or a full-time saxophonist, or I should just be a full-time YouTuber. But then, when the thing works, when the thing finally
yeah,
works, I'll be the same thing that will dance upstairs and say, hey, baby, it's work, but I think I know my job. Oh, I love this job so much. But then
but you're
fundamentally,
very good. You're very good at your job, though. Anyway,
I well,
yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
most agrees
Absolutely
with you also.
correct.
But then the fundamental thing is grow your skill level to the point where you are confident of your delivery. Even when someone opposes it, you can say, hey, you go check your facts.
But I've heard comments like some particular kind of jobs are not for immigrant. You can't get this kind of job. You can't get this kind of role. You can't grow this big as an immigrant in spaces all around the world and all of that. There are racism and all of these words that big words that you hear. So in tech space generally and in DevOps, what do you think is possible for immigrants in the workforce out there?
The answer is anything is possible. You can go as
Mm,
high as possible. And I'm not saying this, I'm not even sure I have permission to say, but I hope I do finally when the video is out. And I'll say this with no regrets also. Is my boss is a black person. My boss was also an immigrant. He's a British citizen now. He's a director of cloud engineering in my company. The CEO is I think he's white. I think he should be white. So yeah, you can grow as high as possible. You can become the CEO. You can own your own business. You can own your own consultancy. You can own it. I don't think the statement is true where it says there's no jobs, there's no level, there's a level you can't get to as an immigrant. I don't think that is a very true representation of the possibilities, because when you think of the fact that we came from Ozo, we can
Yeah.
also have our way through anything. It means anything is possible. If there's a barrier where we are currently, we get out of there and build our own bridge.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's the way I see it. I think anything is possible for anybody, immigrants especially.
Because I see the immigrant community as a community that represents a people that have struggled through a lot and have been able to emerge and become better versions of themselves. Look at immigrants all around the world. Immigrants from India, from Pakistan, from Nigeria, from
Exactly.
different part of the world. They are doing great things around the world.
Elon Musk
So,
is an immigrant in the US.
oh, beautiful. So you can be an immigrant in the UK or in America and become a billionaire. That's
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 the
that's
people.
that's from another angle. Anyway, so now, from all of what we heard you say today, you're a married man and probably have a child or two,
Oh, I got
and
it. So one day let me sleep all night.
that those are some of the commitment of parenting. So how do you manage? Because I know I probably assume your wife works as well, works full time. So how do you manage working as a, because most times when you see tech bros, they're always busy, always with their laptop, headphones, and the likes. So how do you manage uh, the whole idea of the work life balance and create time for yourself, for your family, and for your children?
Yeah, although I'm still a learner at this game, I'm gonna confess. So I'm not a pro at work-life balance, to be honest. I'm probably one of the worst people to ask because I leave this office around 10 p.m., 11 p.m., sometimes even 3 a.m., depending on the level of work. But I think what has helped is having an understanding between you and your wife or husband. Okay. Have an understanding, communicate what needs to be done. Right now, we're on this podcast. It's Saturday evening. We should be watching Netflix. But then I told her, hey, I got a podcast with my friend by 7 p.m. So from 6 p.m., they have let me be. No one is coming through the door to disturb me. And then once the podcast is done, I know I'm going back down, probably to shower one of them, get ready for church tomorrow and all that. So the thing is, there should be communication, expectations, what you want to do. Have a plan ahead of time. So, um, and also, I think making compromises help a lot.
Sure.
Um, and I say this for a fact. Yes, I want to be I want to blow on YouTube. Okay, I want to blow on Instagram, and I'm saying this in the rawest form possible. It's not like I want to blow something up. I want to be big.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
word.
not a big YouTuber yet. I have under 5,000 subscribers, under 5,000 followers across my platform, except LinkedIn, which is probably in the tens of thousands now. But then the thing is, I have that dream to be that, but then I know I can't do that yet. I can't do that without my children not getting my attention. And one of the things I want to be as a father is a father that is present.
Mm.
I want to be there for my family. I want them to know that, yes, even though daddy is busy, daddy loves them. Daddy will create time for them. As I'm speaking to you now, if anything happens, I'm leaving this office and going to attend to them. That's the simple truth of it. And that also applies when I'm at my day job. So it doesn't matter whatever I'm doing, when attention is needed, we give the attention. We can always manage our time. They don't understand that as children. And of course, for your partner also, it's essential to create their time for them.
Me time, very.
Yeah, like that long time, like you just shut off everything. Like maybe for you, it might be early in the morning, it could be late in the evening, it could be in the afternoon, all dependent. I know, yes, everyone is busy trying to be able to pay rent, pay their mortgage, for their car, buy the next Lambo, and all that stuff. But the truth is, we will always make time for what we think is important.
important. Yeah,
Guys, we
that's
watch
very correct.
match. Yes, we watch match. I don't anyway. So I'm one of those guys that doesn't watch
Is that
football.
because you're a techie?
Not
You
because I'm
text
a
you tech.
techie. Not because I'm
Okay.
a techie. It's just because I'm a boring guy.
I won't say that. You're just passionate
But,
about what
but
you
the thing
do.
is, if you need to watch the club you're supporting, you create that time.
That's true.
So your club is your partner. Your club is your family. You need to
Mm,
watch their match.
that's true.
I think that's the best way I could explain it. If it is important to you, you create time for it. There's nothing like I'm too busy. Thing is, and I read this quote or I watch it like when we die, and I'm not trying to be very morbid here. When we die, we are not going to regret that we didn't do more work.
Mm,
We are going to regret that we didn't spend enough time with the people
and
that
with
we love and love
love,
us.
that's
So
that's
we need to become very intentional. And I'm saying this very frankly. We need to become very intentional of proper time management and allocation. I have a space in my calendar that literally says family time.
mm,
The only thing that will take me away from my family at that time is if I have probably a deadline that needs to be met or there's a work emergency.
mm,
And the emergency is even on a shift basis. So next week, whatever emergency is happening at work, there's someone on call. If it happens that this phone rings when I'm not on call, it means there's big trouble. It means I have to attend. Outside of that, when it's family time, it's family time. I don't, I, my computers are off, everything is off, and I make that time. Yes, there are times when maybe you're on a project where you have to spend more time in a day. And I tell my wife, hey, babe, I think I'm lagging behind on this project. I need to spend extra time today. I might come to bed late.
mm.
And there are
So
days where there's no excuse. Whatever you are doing, once it's 5 p.m., shut that laptop down. Go and watch
mm,
Netflix together. Go and wash plates if you like washing plates. Go and take the trash out, sweep.
yeah.
And I'm saying
So
this as a dad and living in modern society. Yes, men sweep, men wash the toilet and all that. Attend to your family. Do what needs to
mm,
be done to make your family happy. Happy family makes if your family is happy, you will be happy doing your job. Not
yeah,
like
you're more
your
productive.
agent partner. You become more productive when your family is happy. To make those
Yeah,
compromises, plan ahead of time, communicate your plans, communicate your expectation,
communication, yeah,
and spend quality time whenever
time.
you can.
Thank you very much, Sarah. We really appreciate your insights about all that you've shared in regards tech and DevOps. So, lastly, I'll just ask you how audience will be able to reach you because you mentioned the other time that you run trainings. You've trained a lot of people on how to transition into tech, transition into DevOps. And I know a lot of people are really interested in tech for the money. Some are some are interested for the passion. So that's up to them to decide. So how can we reach you if we want to reach you and maybe enroll in your trainings and become your
I
proper
can become my
student?
student. Yeah, come pay for my courses. Yes, I don't do master classes. I only give you the raw stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So reaching me is very easy. My name is Dara Oladapo. I am the one and only the entire world. If you see any Dara Oladapo that does not look like this, it's a counterfeit. So if you go on your favorite search engine or your favorite AI tool, find Dara Oladapo. You want to first watch my videos before you go my social media because I diss a lot on my social media compared to my YouTube. My YouTube is a bit more professional. So if you
Okay.
go on YouTube, you'll find my tutorials. I actually have 4 videos I dropped earlier this year about some learning guides of C Sharp, Azure DevOps, Azure, and then the trends to look at for in 2025.
Mm,
I'll probably do one on GitHub Actions also later in the month or later in the year. But I have those 4 videos that I think you should go watch. So look for Dara Oladapo on your favorite search engine. Go to my YouTube and then watch those 4 videos. And if you have questions, put them in the comments. You ways to contact me are literally all over the internet. You can get my email, but not my house address though.
so You recommend that before we reach out to you, we watch your videos and so have an overview of what we want to learn
Yeah,
and
some of your
how
questions might have been answered in some of the videos. So,
answered
but if you ask the question and then it's something I've made, I will respond to you with a link to the video,
into
not
video.
answer
Okay.
the question because that way I'm able to reach more people with the answers than
Okay.
just answering you directly as one person.
Directly. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much, Dara. Do you have any last words for us, for me, for us that are trying to make more money, transition into tech, and
Uh,
probably buy a Lambo?
oh yeah, I want to buy a Lambo too. A Lamborghini Urus is on my bucket list, but we'll get there later in life. But right now, I would say till we get to the point where we can get a Lamborghini Urus for cash, um, keep learning. Learning is essential to growth. Keep learning. Never ever stop learning. I think that's the only thing. Keep learning. Be grounded in the fundamentals of anything you're learning. Programming, AI, cloud, DevOps, law, medicine, whatever you're learning, be grounded in the fundamentals because the fundamentals never ever change.
Mm.
And don't ever stop learning.
Thank you very much. Those are one of a kind words. Thank you very much for your time and for giving us, for impacting us with wisdom in line with tech. And not just tech wisdom. He told us about family, he told us about finance. Now you told us to buy Lamborghini in cash. That's a lot. Thank you
I'm
very
saying
much for
that's
your
my own
time.
dream. Oh, that's my own dream. Oh, I'm not saying you should go and buy it in cash. Oh, please. So that's not my advice. You me so
No, no, no.
bell.
It's just it's not personal. It's not personal financial advice. It's just what you will do. So thank you very much for that. And
Thank
have a
you.
wonderful day.
You too. Bye.